You know, one of the worst communication tactics executives can use these days is an outdated approach called defend and deflect. My name is JT O'Donnell and welcome to Executive Insider. This is the YouTube series that provides career advice to the six-figure professional. So what is defend and deflect? Well, it's a technique that a lot of executives were raised on back in the early days, where it was, look, if the company is attacked or if you're criticized or your business plans are criticized, you've got to defend your positioning and deflect onto someone else. I know that sounds a little dramatic, but if you think about it, a lot of corporate cultures have that intense competitive mindset, which is kind of like block and tackle, right? Defend and deflect. And so having that leadership quality or that trait in your communication style might have worked years ago, but it doesn't work today, and let me tell you why. Now, over half the workforce is made up of millennials, and this generation was raised to be highly collaborative. They love to be part of a team. They're also very careful with their emotional intelligence. They're very, very in tune with the idea of how people are reacting and responding in an environment. And so that defend and deflect mentality, while it might have worked years ago, it gives a totally different message to them. First of all, it looks immediately like you're guilty. Secondly, it looks like you really don't know what you're doing and you're trying to hide that fact. And thirdly, it really shows that you're uncaring and not really sensitive. And these are all things that don't work well in that team mindset. So instead, I encourage you to replace this with something we call examine and engage. Anytime you receive criticism or feedback, what you want to do is step back and not emotionally react. Take an inventory, really examine what the criticism is, where it's coming from. Ask a lot of thought-provoking questions. By taking this approach, it shows that you're paying attention, that you care about what's being said. It doesn't mean you're agreeing with it. It just means that you want to better understand where this is coming from. And then the engaging part, and that is asking people to give you feedback and talk about what alternatives or solutions might look like. What this is going to do is give you an opportunity to then articulate your position, where you're coming from. Because a lot of times it's just a misunderstanding. Maybe they don't really get where you're going with something. But you're not going to know that if you don't examine and then engage that audience. This is a much more emotionally intelligent approach to leadership. It's one that's working extremely well in lots of bigger organizations, and it's something that you're going to be seeing adopted across all sorts of companies as we get rid of that outdated defend and deflect mentality. Okay, did you find this helpful? Questions, comments, feedback, you know what to do. You can put them down below. More importantly, if you're an executive on a leadership track and you really want to better understand how to brand yourself as one of these new and cutting-edge types of leaders, check out Work It Daily in our executive membership program. We've got an incredible opportunity for you to come and be part of an elite group of peers where you can have private and secure conversations. More importantly, you can work with expert coaches like myself, getting your questions answered and really taking your game to the next level. Okay, until next time, I want you to remember this. When it comes to leadership and communication, if you want to win in the executive game, you got to work it daily.